Now let's start with question number 6. Can you explain database unit testing? Now Visual Studio provides a way by which you can test your stored procedures, functions and triggers. So let's see how Visual Studio helps us to do database unit testing. So here's a simple stored procedure I have called as select customers, which basically makes a select onto the customer table. So if you look into the customer table, just let me open customer table. It has basically 3 fields, and it basically, and this stored procedure basically selects customer based on customer code. Now let's try to do a unit testing on this. Let me just delete one row so that we can have a better test case. So I have currently only one record, 001 and Shiv, and this stored procedure basically makes a select to the table. So in other words, when I run this stored procedure, and if I specify 001, I will get one record as output. Okay, and if I don't specify any value, if I specify anything other than that, like 002, it will give me nothing. So let's see that how we can do database unit testing using Visual Studio Test. So let's go and do a add new test, and you need to select database unit test. So let's click OK on this. So once you click OK, you will be popped up with a small code pane or a coding area where you can basically write your database test. So you can go and you can add a test here. So currently I have already added a database test 1. Now let's go and write a small unit test. So I'll say that execute this stored procedure using value 002, which means the test case should fail. And when you run this test case, I want that basically, okay, I want that for this test case to pass, I want the row count should be 1 at least. So let me just open this and say that at least the row count should be 1. Let me delete the top condition. So when this test case runs, I want that the row count should be 1, or else, that means the select query is not working properly. So currently I have put in a value 002, which means that this test case should fail, because in the customer table we have record with only 001. So you can specify your database test conditions using the test condition criteria by the database unit test. So at this moment I use the row count. You can also have scalar values, you can also have execution time and etc. So let's go and run this test. So let me go to test, Windows, let me go to test list editor, and let me run this database test. Select this, run check test. So it will now show me saying that this database test has failed. So it should show me a red mark saying that this database test has failed. So you can see that the database test has failed because it was expecting a count of 1. The row did not match the 1 expected value. Now let's go there and let's put a different value. Let's put the proper value 001. Let me just save it. And now let's go and run the test case. Now in this case, this test case should pass. So it will show me a green, and it will tell me that this test is passed. So if I double click on the test, it will tell me that 1 result set, 1 row affected. So this test case has passed. So in this way we can do unit testing using database unit testing project or unit testing template given by Visual Studio Team System. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and in the coming up video we'll be seeing code coverage, how to do code coverage using VSTS unit test, and also we'll try to see we'll also try to do a small manual test and try to see that how we can basically use how we can do basically manual testing using VSTS Team System.